know when it's time to go back to a story is when I like miss hanging out with the characters. I miss hanging out with Beatrice and Quentin, which are my main characters, and also getting to know some of the other characters in my book. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's just these voices in my head that I want to talk to. So I'm going to basically be brainstorming right now some of the scenes that I can do. I'm still really lost on what direction I want to take this book, but yeah, hopefully some interesting stuff will come up today. It's gonna take a while to actually like get some scenes going, but it all starts with now. For the past week or so, I've been overwhelmed with trying to get it started, just because going back to the book is a really big task that I'm not sure I'm ready for. I know I am, but it just, in my head, my book is this perfect object right now that has remained untouchable for these past how many months, and going back to it means that I have to work really hard, assess my shortcomings, and hopefully become better at the end of it. But yeah, that's me. Let's get started. My PJs, because I don't know, there's something really nice about waking up and your first instinct being, I need to write. Like before I eat, before I like have any like coffee or tea, I write. So I just like being pulled out of my slumber by that feeling. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, let's get started. Pressure on myself. I don't know, what dynamics do I want to explore? I think a scene between Quentin and Val. I, again, don't know if I'm gonna change the characters' names then, but just main character Quentin and Val kind of need to talk. What about, I think Val is gonna be really protective of Beatrice. It's hard to write scenes without really understanding the dynamic of a character has with another character. For example, I know I want a scene with Quentin and Sahit, but I don't know what that would look like because I actually don't know Sahit that well. I haven't really written any scenes where he's taken a forefront, you know, not even like with his friendship with Isaac. So I think at this point I need to just free write what an interaction with Quentin and Sahit would look like, because I can't actually plan out a scene without knowing my character better and how they might interact and like what their viewpoints are going to be. And that's actually a lot of my characters right now, because I think I want to pivot in the direction of focusing more on the friendships between the characters, but I don't know. So I just need a free write. The good thing about this, even though I don't think I got very far, is that that's actually a really big shift in the story from what it needed to be. Like I have a scene now where I'm like, oh, that can replace a really big part of the story, and actually might be more important than that part. Good stuff. Writing doesn't necessarily show a lot of progress, but good stuff, you know, big ideas churning. My reel looks very writerly. Maybe I should shoot from this direction a little bit more often, but my bookcases, my 2 cups of tea from the other day. No, this one's for today. Okay. I'm procrastinating. I'm filming this because I'm procrastinating because, again, overwhelmed with the sense that I have to rewrite this entire book and I don't know the direction that it's going to take. I think I'm just gonna go with my regular writing routine, which is read a little bit and then go into some free writing. 20 to 30 minutes of reading and then 20 to 30 minutes of free writing. My old professor used to say that be a productive free writer. You know, a lot of writers are just like, I feel like writing this today, I feel like writing this today, and sometimes those things are necessary, but when I am trying to write a book, I need to free write chapters for those books and let be a very free time for me to explore some of the relationships between characters. Even if none of these free writes go into the book, that's my time to see, how would Beatrice act in that situation? How would she act if a waitress decided to like not return her credit card or whatever? It's just a little bit more freeform. So I'm gonna read today. I'm gonna read Ana Karana. I'm gonna make some notes in them. I came up with this idea to move some of the action into another city. The big event that was going to kind of set off some characters going into breakdowns was not working because it just didn't make any sense and there was a lot of moving pieces and I wasn't able to concentrate on the characters that I wanted to concentrate on. So I decided to move that event to the city. Maybe I'll free write some characters because there's a certain dynamic that I'm starting to understand better between Sahit and Quentin. So Quentin is my main character and Sahit is one of the secondary characters or minor characters. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Okay. Alright, so I guess I've been going through this whole process without actually explaining what I'm doing or what this project is because it's been in my head for a while, but I've not actually told it to you. So the project that I started right now, which is my book, and I've been working on that for a long time, really began in my junior year of college. My spring semester. And I was taking this course called Introduction to Creative Writing, and each week we had to submit 500 words based on whatever prompt. And for some reason one week I wrote was this odd relationship that I really didn't understand at that time, the dynamic between a younger man and an older woman. I really wasn't planning on doing anything longer, but by the time the end of the semester came and we had to submit a much longer, shorter story of about 10,000 words, I decided to choose that I wanted to know more about that interaction between that young man and a little bit older woman. So for senior year at the American University of Paris, you actually have the option of choosing between writing a thesis or doing a creative project of the same length. And so as a creative writing major, you're like, duh, I want to do writing. I want to write a short novel or write a play. So I decided to write half of a novel. My professors were like, you should just write the full novel. And I'm like, no, I have other stuff going on. And I feel like half of a novel is at least pretty attainable within that entire year. So the first semester, fall semester of senior year, it was me just exploring the characters and kind of just full-on free writing and not really knowing what I was doing, but just kind of getting words down on the page, which is a very important part of the process. Spring semester came around and I still didn't really know what I was doing. I actually was working with one of my mentors at the time, Michelle Kuo. I talked with her and said, I feel like my writing is good, but I think I get stuck in this weird nostalgia, like very sad voice that I don't think that I want the entire story to be about. Like, it's just always really heavy. She helped really guide me along the way, and we did a lot of exercises to help me find that my voice can be very sad at some times and very thoughtful, but there was a wittier, sassy talking side of my narrative voice that I wanted to share, and she helped me find that. I remember the one thing that she said to me at the end when we were kind of like, well, Lauren, you've written half of a novel. What are you gonna do now? And I was like, I just want to get it done. And she kind of had to be like, no, let's like slow it down. She said for her own novel, it actually took her 7 years to write it. It takes a lot of time, more time than you think. In my head at the time, I was like, 7 years, that's so long, I can't wait. But now in writing this and continue to work really hard on it, I'm like, 7 years seems like a pretty good timeline, because if I'm thinking honestly about it, I'm coming up on already 3 years of working on this. I guess I'm trying to move up that timeline a little bit by working on it a little bit more consistently, but I do see that writing a novel does take time. That's just the background of it and how this novel came to be. I can tell you guys more about what it's about actually later on, or in a different segment. But yeah, that's the context of everything. Hope that clears that up. I've gone ahead and just looked at what I needed to do for today, and it's a bunch of free writes basically, and just trying to figure out the dynamics that I have with people. It is 6:42 right now. I hope to be working until 12 p.m. tonight and finally rest and then wake up early tomorrow in order to write, because I have these 2 days off. So yeah. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes and did my first free write of today. Well, technically it was two. Two little segments of trying to understand the interactions between characters a little bit more. See, this is the thing why I love doing free writes when I have questions about the book, because I have the secondary character, Isaac. I'm pretty sure I'm going to change his name, mostly because I don't know how to spell Isaac. Is it with 2 S's or 2 A's? Yeah, I think I'm just going to change it into something a little bit easier to remember for me. I've had questions about him for the longest time, because I originally wrote his character as your regular old like frat boy who loves to party and loves being around people, but I wasn't sure how that was necessarily fitting in, so I think I'm gonna have him act like an older brother to Beatrice and kind of look after her. At least that clarifies a little bit of his role in the story some more. So very exciting when things start clicking together. It's not always when that happens. Refreshing the inspiration by reading a little bit. I feel like I haven't been reading that much lately, and as a writer that wounds my soul. But yeah, that's, gotta read, gotta keep it. What should I read today? I don't know. I found it. It's right here. Look how pretty this cover is. Pretty naman. Hoozle-badoozle. I am going to be on the last bit of writing. I think so far I've written 1,329 words, which is a very good amount, but it's not even the amount of it, but it's what was I saying? Okay, no, I've written about 1,000 words, 1,000 plus words. And it's not even about the amount that I've written. It's about really, this was a very productive free write because I think I understand more the interactions that Isaac has with the other characters in the novel. So that answered so many questions. Like even if I had written only 500 words and had more interactions addressed and gotten a clearer idea of how he was in certain situations, then that would have been just as productive. But I feel like I'm at a really good point. I think I have one more interaction of him to write, even though that to me is actually the clearest dynamic that I have of him in my head. I just kind of need to put it down and put it into words. It's only, can you see that? Okay, it's only 8:40 right now. So yeah, I still want to do something else productive, but I think my head's ready to stop writing. Okay, maybe it's not as... Okay, let's just start. Start typing, things will get happening. I got it. Okay. Oh, it's already 7 minutes. Jesus. I've gotten into a groove, obviously. So sometimes it just helps to just start writing, even if you don't know where you're going. Hello. It is currently 11:33 right now. I already have the sleeping timer thing that Apple has on, so I think I'm going to end it right there. This is what I've been working on. Look, it's vlog inception, but I just spent the rest of the time just working on that. But yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. So good night.